I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait.
Good morning and welcome back to the channel Rideshare Buddy UK, and I'm Kevin. And today, a real treat for you. You're going to get 5 videos this week, one every day, because today I'm seeing if you can use Uber as a standard 9 to 5 Monday to Friday job. So today it's Monday, it's just coming up to 9 o'clock. I'm about to switch on. I'm going to work from 9 till 5. Won't do my first job until 9 o'clock. I won't do any work after 5 o'clock. And my office for this week is a little car park in the centre of Newport. So if I do take a job that takes me beyond 5 o'clock, I have to drive back here to end the clock when I work out my weekly wage. So it's going to be Monday to Friday, 9 till 5, with a 1 hour lunch, as you do in offices. It's a cushy number working in an office. So that's what we're going to do, a 35-hour working week. And on Friday, we'll add up all the expenses, we'll add up all the takings, and we'll try and work out an hourly rate and see if you can work 9 till 5 doing Uber. I don't think you can. You'll probably make a little bit of money, but you probably won't make minimum wage, but we'll see what happens. My fixed costs for the week will be £199 for the car, and then there's about £7 for cleaning, so that's jet wash and the vacuum and the like, and paying for airspray. And also there's, I think it's about £4 a week it works out at for the cost of the licence and medical and DBS and stuff like that. So you have to make £4 a week to cover that over the course of a year. So those are my fixed costs. Then there's just the variable cost, which is fuel, and I won't know that until Friday, but I reckon I'll probably use about 60, maybe £70 worth of fuel. But we'll add it all up at the end of the week and find out what my wages. Well, it's just turned 9 o'clock. Switch on the app and let's see what happens. Are we going to get off to a flying start, or am I just going to hang around waiting for a while? Probably wait around for a while. But I have to admit, I didn't think it was so cold this early in the morning. I'm normally still tucked up in bed by now. But I will get out. I guarantee I'll be out at 9 o'clock each day, I hope. And we'll see what happens. Okay, it's 9:04. First job has just come through from Newport Station, just up the road. Don't quite know where it's going to. £12.12. So it's a good start to the day. So let's head off to the station and pick up the first passengers. Okay, so that was my first job, from a railway station in Newport up to Cardiff Gate Business Park, £12.12. I'm in Cardiff. Will I get back to Newport? I don't know. Once you're in Cardiff, you tend to stay there quite a lot because it's quite busy in Cardiff. But normally I would just drive back to Newport with an empty car, but I've got to give Uber its go. It's got to be fair to Uber. I'm working 9 till 5, so I'll stay in Cardiff if that's where the jobs are. So let's move on, head back towards the motorway in case I get another job. Okay, it's just gone up till 10 o'clock, so I've been out for an hour, and I only did that one job, £12.12. £12 in an hour. That's not good at all. I waited up at Cardiff Gate for about 15 minutes to see if I'd get a job going in there. I mean, it's a major commercial area, so it was worth a wait for 15 minutes. Nothing came through, so I jumped on the motorway and I've come back to Newport. So I'm just coming into Newport now. No jobs on the way in. So pretty dire. £12, not good. But I was expecting that. This is why I don't really bother going out until 2 in the afternoon. It's just not worth it. All of the school drivers they've dropped off all their passengers, and them hunting around for a little bit of extra work to keep going until they go for the school runs in the afternoon. And that tends to be about 2 o'clock, 2:30 when the school drivers disappear, and it starts to get a little bit busy then. But until now, until 2 o'clock, I don't expect to do a lot. There's so many drivers on the road at the moment. But let's park up at the office, Lidl's in the centre of Newport, and wait for our next job. Well, at the moment, Newport is supposedly in surge with dark red and orange all over Newport, but there's no jobs coming through. And that just goes to show that surge on Uber is a complete waste of time. It's got nothing to do with how busy it is. It's how busy Uber thinks it might become. And what they're trying to do is get drivers out so that it doesn't become busy, so you don't get any surge payments. Ignore surge, waste of time. It's just trying to con people into coming out and con people into thinking that there's busy jobs and they're going to make a lot of money. They're not. They're just going to sit there twiddling the thumbs, twiddling the fingers, waiting for a job to appear, which just doesn't exist. Okay, we've just had our second job come through. I've had to run 3.2 miles for it. It says it's going to take 10 minutes. With this traffic, it's going to be much more like 20 minutes. But it's a job in Somerton for £8.28. Long way to run for an £8 job, but there's nothing else going. And when you're going to earn the money, you're going to earn the money. And this is a problem during the days, especially in the morning, when you've got so many drivers out on the road.
Head to your pickup at Aston Newport. Turn right on Rock the Monmouth Castle.
Okay, so that was a quick trip out from Spitty, one of the Spitty industrial estates, down to the new housing estate for £8.58. Just dropped off, and I picked up a £4.90 job from the Asda for a local. So it's 10:30 now, and I've got just over £20 on the clock. So not great, but it's ticking along a little bit. Well, just thinking about my lunch break today, I think I'll probably take a break between 12:30 and 1:30. So that means I'll be back on the road ready for 2 o'clock when it should start to pick up. I don't have a late lunch because I'll miss out on all the busy work. Okay, so it's just coming up to 11 o'clock now, so I've done 3 jobs in 2 hours. £25.67 on the clock. Let's call that about £12.50 an hour. Now, normally I operate on £7 an hour operating costs as an average, but that's based on a 40-hour week. Now, we're doing today, well, this week, we're doing office hours, so that's 35 hours a week. So those operating costs are really running up now close to £8 an hour. So £12.50 an hour minus £8 an hour. I'm currently working for £4.50 an hour this morning. Not great, but let's see what happens in the rest of the day. Hopefully it'll get a little bit busier this afternoon after about 2 o'clock, but we'll see what happens then. That's it. 15-minute wait. It's just coming up to 11:15, so 15 minutes from the last job. And I've just got one in from the Newport Student Village for £9.30. So let's get on with doing that one. My 4th job of the day. Okay, so that was just a couple of staff, couple of students going to work from the Newport Student Village. £8, just over £8. So at the moment, on the clock, I've got £35 and 6pence after 2 hours 35 minutes. So let's head back down now towards Newport and see if we can pick something else up. Okay, so this could be a lifesaver for the day. It's 11:45. I've just had a job come in and got on Trip Radar from sort of Usk Way or just off Usk Way down to Bristol for £32. Not great on the mileage, but I should be there and back in about an hour and a half, hopefully. 11:45, hopefully by 1, then I can go for my lunch break between 1 and 2, and then 2 o'clock onwards it should hopefully pick up. But that £31 is going to take me up to about 65 for the morning. A bit of a lifesaver. Okay, so that was a nice little job, one out from Newport out to Portishead Marina. So quite a nice little trip. Motorway pretty much all the way there, £31. So that puts me on, what does that put me on? £66.74 for the morning. It's 12:30, so I'm going to head back to Mega Services, which will take me about half an hour. And once I, it's a bit of a maze around here. Once I hit Mega Services, hopefully about by 1 o'clock, I'm going to take my 1 hour lunch break and get myself ready for the afternoon shift. So let's get back onto the motor. It is very, very nice around here. I mean, Bristol house prices as well, it's going to cost a fortune to live down here, but very pleasant. So off to Mega for my lunch. Right, okay, so here we are on my lunch break down at Mega Services. I've had my McDonald's and chips. Don't normally eat McDonald's. I mean, normally on a shift when I work from 2 till 8, it's only 6 hours, so I normally stop off for a coffee. Won't bother with anything to eat. But as we're doing a full office hours shift session today, I've got an hour's lunch break, so we have some to eat. Let's have a quick roundup of this morning. So on the clock, there you go, 66.74. That's for 4 hours. I got into Mega Services just a couple of minutes before 1 o'clock, so 9 till 1, 4 hours. So £66.74. We have to take off our costs, and because we're doing a 35-hour week, for rough average we're looking at £8 an hour for costs. So that's 8, 16, £32 in costs has got to come off that £66. That gives us £34. 34 divided by 4 hours. I think it's probably going to work out at just under £9 an hour. But let's have a quick look. Let's find the calculator. Okay, so I'm looking at £34 over 4 hours. £8.50 an hour. So even if you forget about holiday pay and sick pay, I'm well under national minimum wage. This is why I don't work Mondays. I don't work mornings, because after that school period, there's just nothing working. It's just nothing. Fortunately, today I was saved by that Portishead Marina job to Bristol. That gave me £32. Without that, I'd have been working for £4 an hour after expenses. And there's much better things I can do with my time than drive a car for £4 an hour. So we are doing this 9 to 5 task load, this 9 to 5 challenge, and that's what it's working out at, £8.50 an hour. So it's gone from a disaster of a day to just a pretty bad day. But we'll see what the afternoon brings. I've got half an hour left of my break, so logging off for 30 minutes, and we'll come back for the afternoon session, which will just be 3 hours long, from 2 till 5. Not looking promising. Right, it's just coming up to 5 to 2, and we're just about ready to get started on the afternoon shift, which is going to last for 3 hours. I can understand why office workers have to have a 1 hour lunch break, because if you have to be up at 8 o'clock in the morning so you can get to work for 9, You need a half-hour kip halfway through to see you through to the rest of the afternoon. So that's it. It's coming up to just gone 5 to 2. So let's start the engines and get back into Newport. We'll come down the we'll come off the motorway at the Celtic Manor and work our way down the Chepstow Road into the centre and see what sort of work we can pick up. So let's switch on the app and see what we can get for part 2 of our first day working it as an office job. Okay, so first job of the afternoon is £8.60. I've just come down the motorway, just heading up towards Celtic Manor, and I've been pinged with a job from Langstone. So I'll come off the motorway here, double back along CA48 to Langstone to pick up, to come into town, into Newport. So good start to the afternoon shift, £8.60. Okay, so that was a quick trip for £8.60 from Langstone Business Park to Cliver Road, and I've got a follow-on job just round the corner for sort of Devon Place for £11.60. So things are picking up. Normally does it around this time because the school drivers are heading off on their contracts, which leaves a reasonable amount of work for the rest of us. So let's get this £11.60 job in the can. Well, that was an interesting one, that last job. Picking up at Cliver Park Road or Devon Place, coming up to the top of Macon Mountain. A couple of chefs, one from the Parkway in Cardiff and another in the Celtic Manor, off on a mushroom hunt, off foraging. So that was a nice, I think about £12 job in total. So not too bad at all. It's going to be fun for them if they want to try and get an Uber back, because they were talking about can we get an Uber from here, and I sort of suggested that if they wanted an Uber they might be better off walking down into Macon itself rather than trying to get a car from the top of the mountain. Oops. Now we're going to have fun, aren't we? Nice little lay-by there. So I told them to go up to Macon, well, walk down the hill to Macon on the way down while foraging, and they'll have a much better chance of picking up an Uber back into Newport from there. Well, I'm on £81 or something like that so far, and let's get back into Newport because we're moving into quite a busy time. Okay, coming down, I've just picked up one down at Klepper Park. Not Klepper Park. Yeah, it is Klepper Park. From Klepper Park, I think it's going back to the station from the hotel, the Holiday Inn Express. £8, another £8 job in the bank. I'm on 89, that'll take me up to 97. So we're moving there, we're moving on, and it's 3 o'clock, or just coming up to 3 o'clock. Yeah, so that was a quick sort of £7-8 job into St Mellons, the old St Mellons from the Holiday Inn Express. However, she decided to be good and cross the road onto the main expressway. We weren't anybody. So I was stuck in 3 lanes of traffic at traffic lights in the right hand turn filter lane, and she was waving at me from the expressway. So I had to try and cut across 3 lanes of traffic at traffic lights to get to her, which fortunately I did. Some nice people gave way and let me go across and picked her up, and now into Old St Mellons. So I'm heading back now into Newport.
Just ahead, turn left on
We're moving into a peak time in Newport now. It's 3:10. So all the school drivers are gone, off on their contracts, and I'm seeing Newport is in surge. But to be honest with you, just ignore surge with Uber. It's a load of nonsense and doesn't mean anything at all really, because I've gone through surge areas twice today and didn't get off a single job. Then just trying to tempt drivers out onto the road because they think it may possibly, just on the off chance, be busy in that area in the next hour or so. Nothing to do with the actual workload at all. But schools are out, school being kicked out now, and I'm heading back to Newport. What have I got on the clock? I've got £97 on the clock at 3:10. So you look at this is what kills your hourly rates during the school hours. It's the traffic. The only way you can earn money in this sort of traffic is if you got a passenger in the car and then being charged. Otherwise, it's this is what really kills it and really drops down what could be a good hourly wage into pitiful amount that's even less than national minimum wage, because you sat around with an empty car wasting time, going nowhere and earning nothing. Right, so I've just had a job come in for £14 from St Mellons, New St Mellons, I think it's Cypress Drive. Didn't quite notice where it was going to. I was just coming around the corner by the Cardiff Garden Centre, so it's only just down the road. I think it's less than a mile away. So that's nice. So let's get this one sorted, get it in the bag, and that's going to take me up to about 110, hopefully, by the time I've done this job. So it's still only 3:20. Still got an hour and a half left to go. We may do an okay job after all today. We'll see what happens. Well, nobody showed up, so I waited 3.5 minutes. Well, no, so I waited 4 minutes after the thing went to red, and I've cancelled the job. Oh no, I think it's just right. You did the Midday. You'll have to rebook. I've cancelled the job. Yeah, because it was booked for over there, and I've waited 5 minutes. You'll have to rebook, I'm afraid. Sorry about that. Yeah, he's just flagged me down. He was like Welsh Water, miles away from where the app was showing it. Well, not miles, but you know, completely different estate to where the app was showing. Riders, you've got to check where the app is showing for you to be picked up. You've got to check and make sure it's actually where you are. You can't just rely on the postcode, because the postcode can send the driver I've been a mile and a half away at the centre of a postcode to where the rider was. You've got to make sure you put the correct address in and don't just put a postcode in, because postcode covers areas, and if you just put a postcode in, then the app will send the driver to the middle of the postcode, and that might not be anywhere near where you actually are. You know, that's the way it is. So it's costing £3.50 in cancellation fee, and now he has to book another taxi because I'd cancelled the job. Right, I've just accepted an advance booking for 10 to 5 this evening in Pontypool, coming back to Newport. That's at £22.99. So we've got that in the bag. See if we get any work going out towards Pontypool once we get back into Newport. We might, that will all help. But that 10 to 5 booking should get me back into Newport for about 5:30. So that's about 5:30. 30 minutes overtime today. But that will be my last job. But it's 3:30. I might get a couple of jobs heading out towards Pontypool. Definitely might get someone out to Cumbran, which will take me part of the way there. So let's just get into Newport It's 3:30 and I've got £100 on the clock. Well, the other issue with riders when you just put in a postcode is that guy, his icon didn't show up on the app, which means he's got privacy settings on. Now, if he'd have had switched off his privacy settings, I'd have seen on the app where his phone was, and I'd have known I was in the wrong place. So I'd have gone over to where the item was booked from, just to get the app accepting that I'd arrived at the location, and then I'd have seen his location with his phone icon was a couple of estates along, and then I'd have driven down there before I'd cancelled the job. But because he had privacy settings on, I couldn't see where he was, so I didn't know where he was. I just assumed he hadn't turned up, so I cancelled the job. You know, riders, you gotta help the driver find where you are. You can't just think that drivers are psychic and they'll automatically find you. They won't, especially if you put the wrong address in. Well, that's my rant of the day over. Yeah, I'm beginning to doubt as to whether I should have taken that advanced booking on. The problem with Uber, if you take an advanced booking on, for the 2 hours before that advanced booking, you get fed no jobs, and it kills your opportunities to earn money. So I felt I shouldn't have really taken it. Normally, I only take advanced bookings on at the start of my shift. Like on Sunday, I had an airport one. Well, yesterday I had an airport one. It was a 10 o'clock in the morning pickup. I don't normally start till about 2, but I thought I'd go out to the airport, 50 quid, fine, no problem. Now you compare that to Friday. Friday I had another airport on, and that was a 4 o'clock in the afternoon pickup, and I went out at 2, and I didn't get a job for an hour purely because of that advanced booking. So I cancelled the advanced booking at that stage, and jobs just started to flood in. You don't do reserved jobs in the middle of your shift because you'll kill your shift, and I might have made a mistake by taking that £22 job on. But we'll see. If you get a good run out to Cumbrain, it might be worth it. Otherwise, I'll have to remember in future, just don't do it. I mean, look at this. It's 3:45. Normally, jobs would be flying in because a lot of the drivers are in school contracts. Traffic's moving slowly, and there'll be jobs just flying in, and nothing, not a murmur. And that's because I took that reserved advanced booking. So a big mistake, but I won't be doing that again. I mean, seriously, taking that, look at it, I'm ranting at myself now. Seriously, taking that reserve job was a rookie's mistake. I mean, this is the sort of thing you make a mistake on doing when you first start driving for Uber. You know, I'm into month 3 now. I know how Uber works, and I know what happens when you take reserved or advanced bookings, and I still fell for it. Chop my hand off. Well, look at that. I've driven all the way back from Fortran Drive in St Mellons, the industrial estate or commercial estate over there, all the way back into Newport. 25 minutes at peak busy period during the school rush, when jobs are normally flying out like crazy, and not a single job offer has come through. It's not this quiet on Uber at this time of day, I can tell you that. I'm being ignored by Uber algorithm because I've taken that advanced booking. So let that be a warning to you. It's a rookie mistake. I should not have done it. I should have forgot about it. But I took it, being a little bit greedy, and I'm paying the price for it. I'm going to lose far more than £20 in the next hour and a half, or in the last hour and, well, next hour and last half hour, than I make on this advanced booking trip. I probably lost about 20 quid, £25, something like that. Maybe even more, maybe heading towards 30 at this time of day. So it goes to show, don't get greedy. Just work your hours, work solid. Don't push your luck with advanced bookings unless that advanced booking is outside your normal working hours. Like I did yesterday morning, trip out to Bristol Airport, 50 quid. Sometimes if a job comes in at 1 o'clock for reserved or 2 o'clock, I'll take that because that's when I start my shift. But I'd never take anything around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the peak of my earnings. I thought it might work out well as I'm doing 9 till 5. Made a big mistake. Big mistake. What is it the woman in red was when she goes into the shop? Hey, you on credit, are you? Big mistake. And that's what I've done, a big mistake. Well, I'm going to see if I can sort of hang around the station in Newport to try and salvage this. To get a job out from the station to Cumbrain and then drop off at Cumbrain and come flying back to the station. I might have time to do another Cumbrain out. Just trying to do something to recover. I could cancel the job, but I want to use this opportunity now that I've made that mistake. It's just to show you why you should never take on advanced bookings if it's in the middle of your shift. Only take them on at the start of your shift, because you will lose 2 hours worth of work as you'll be kicked off the algorithm, and they'll only look for jobs that will take you to the destination, and that's for 2 hours before the time, and that can cost you a lot of money in peak time such as today. So that's my top tip of the week. Don't take advanced bookings. Okay, so that's it. The app is now telling me to head back off to that Pontypool job. It's 4:20, half an hour to get there. I have not had a single job offer or job come through since accepting and taking that advanced booking. Let that be a warning to all of you newbies out there. It does not pay. You will lose a lot of money by doing these advanced bookings. So for instance, I accepted it about an hour ago, maybe just a little over an hour ago. It's going to take me half an hour to get there, half an hour to get back. 2 hours for £22 job. This is a peak time. You know, it's 4:15. Between 2:30 and 5:30, it's a peak time. It's the busiest time you're going to get during days. And normally between this sort of time, those 2 hours, I would do £45, something like that. So by taking that £22 job, I've lost £44. Well, I've lost £22 of difference. It's cost me over £20. So that's what you've really got to think about if you're just starting off in Uber. And you look at these advanced bookings and you think, oh, I'll do that one, I'll do that one, I'll do that one. But for every one you take, you lose 2 hours worth of earnings in the run up to the time of the job, because you set aside for that job and you don't get fed work. Reserve jobs are great if you're well paid, good jobs, and you can do it as a standalone, like I did yesterday with that Bristol Airport. You're paying £50. I was there and back in just under 2 hours in the morning. I don't normally work Sunday mornings, but for £50 for a couple of days work, it was worth going out for. After expenses, I was probably earning close to £17, £18 an hour. So you can do that, but if you take them during your shift, you've really got to accept the fact that you could lose 2 hours worth of earnings, and you've got to take that cost into account. Okay, so that's a fairly straightforward one from top end of Pontypool out in the sticks, coming all the way back to Spitty, one of the units on Spitty Park. So £22.99. It's 5:20, heading back to the office. That'll probably take me to around 5:30, so 30 minutes overtime. Then we'll do a quick rough guess as to what sort of profit I've made today and my hourly rate for today. I'll do the full workout on Friday and we'll get much more accurate one on Friday. But we'll do a ballpark figure one tonight when I get to the park. But I'm afraid taking that advanced booking has really killed my hourly rate, because I've probably lost about, look at that, £21.79 job, Newport to Cardiff, just come through, 5:20. Can't do it because I'm only working 9 to 5 this week. So let's go offline so I don't get any more jobs and protect my acceptance rate. So as I say, I've probably lost over £20 by taking on that advanced booking. So that equates to about £3 an hour on a 7-hour day, or on a 9 to 5 job. So what could have been a minimum wage job day is probably less. But let's get over to the Lidl car park and let's do some working out. Right, okay, so we parked back up at the office, or the Lidl car park, and it's 5:30, so 30 minutes overtime, and I've done, oops, so there we go, £123.74. Let's call it £124. Now, because I'm doing 7-day, 9 to 5, 7-hour working day, 35 a week, my cost I'm going to work out at being about £8 an hour. So I've done 7 hours at £8 an hour. 8 times 7 is 56. So my cost today is £56. I'll do the exact quote working out on Friday. Let's go 124 minus 56. £68 profit on 7.5 hours. So let's go 7. Okay, so I'm just butting in here because I got the calculations wrong in the car. I worked out my hourly rate using my expenses and not my profit. So I think it was £68 pound profit. Divide that by 7.5. That gives me £9 and 6 per hour. So that's below the national minimum wage, but that was my fault for failing up by taking that advanced booking. Had I not taken the advanced booking, I'd have made an extra £3 an hour because I'd been £20 better off. So that would have taken up to £12.06. So I would have made minimum wage with holiday pay and with sickness pay as well. So it could have been a minimum wage day had I not messed up with that advanced booking. But tomorrow's another day. There is an advanced booking tomorrow for 9 o'clock, but that's a pick up at Tesco's in the Tesco's warehouse distribution centre down Magor, back into Newport. But I need to be here at 9 o'clock to clock on and start my shift. So that's it for today. First day, day one, working Uber as an office job. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. So till then, good day, good night, God bless, and have a safe journey.